Hi, this is Ben Ivey, the Fulfillment Artist, and in this video I'm going to be diving into how do you make difficult decisions in life. When you are facing a challenge, how do you actually make a decision which you're happy with and you can really follow through on? Now, there's a lot of times in my life where I struggled with this a lot. I was someone that would attempt to book flights to different places, and I can remember this. And even 2 years ago, I would go on, I'd look at all the flights I have for the year. I'm flying to China, I'm going to LA, and I'd open up all the links. I thought, okay, I've got a good idea of how I maybe do this. I may fly then, I may fly here. That's a little bit cheaper. But then I wouldn't make any decisions on it. And then a month would go by, and then I'd go back and, okay, now I'm going to do it. But the same thing would happen. I often wouldn't have all the factors, and I wasn't sure if I was making the best decision. Was I booking on a Tuesday? And I'd often overwhelm myself. And because of that, I wouldn't make a decision on it. So I would sort of get halfway there, or 80% of the way there, but then I would never follow through on the decision. And what happened was, I just ended up getting a backlog of tasks. And I'm not sure if this has happened to you, but in life, if we don't make decisions and we stick to them, we actually take action, what happens is we just stay where we are and we analyze, but we never do anything with it. So now something that I do is I have two options when it comes to decisions. One is I get a decision, I make it happen and it's done. Or two, if it's a more challenging decision, then I have a decision-making criteria that I go through that I'll explain a little bit later on in the video. So the first one for simple things. Let's say, and something that we did today, booking a summer holiday in 2020 to see one of my friends who's getting married. So we've got to book the flights, we have to book the travel, we have to book the hotel, and we've got to get it all sorted. So I said, right, let's do it. Let's get it done. So all we did is we went online, we looked for some deals, we found it. We said, right, this is a pretty good deal. What do you think? Amazing. Okay, should we book it? What are the dates? Wednesday to Wednesday, 1 week. Let's stay either side. Done. And there's other factors. We've got to fly to San Diego after. However, we literally 2 hours ago just made that decision, paid it, made it happen. And simple as that, it's now done. I don't have to worry at all. My summer holiday's already booked for 2020 and I can relax. But that's because we made the decision. I said, this is the time. We're not going to go back. We're not going to revisit. Just get it done. Because when it's done, it's dusted. You don't have to worry about it anymore. And it's such a lovely feeling to just have things thrown at you. You quickly do it and bam, you're on your way. Now, for those of you who are facing a really challenging decision, you're saying, yeah, but okay, that's great, Ben, you're going on holiday. But what about when I'm changing my career or when I have a really big issue and I genuinely don't know what to do? So this is what I do for more challenging decisions. For example, when we were booking our wedding venues, when I quit my business to be a fulfillment artist full time, when I decided where to invest my money. This is often the decision criteria that I go through. So it's very simple, and I'll take you through it step by step. Number one is you have to decide what are your most important outcomes. Make a decision. So let's say you're changing your career, right? What is most important to me? Maybe it is freedom, freedom of your time. You want to be able to be a freelancer. Maybe it's money. Maybe it is location. So you have some criteria and you go, this is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you make a decision on your outcomes. So you now have your outcomes, you have them listed, you have everything sorted. Your next step is to say, what are all my options? And I want you to list every single options, up to 10, 12, whatever many options you have to make it happen. I remember working with someone in Shanghai on this. He was looking into, do I stay with the same company? Do I go to Denmark? Do I switch things up? Do I go freelance? Do I go traveling for a year? How do I make this decision? So we listed all the different options that he had. And then, very simply, you're going to look at the pros and cons. So you look at all the pros and all the cons. But then you're going to do the next step, but you're going to say, okay, the pros, let's say you're changing your career, and one option is to, go to Antarctica. So you say, go to Antarctica. You say, one of the pros is I get loads of cash, right? So it affects your top outcome, maybe that's money. So you say, affects outcome 1, money. The benefit of that on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe it's a 9. It's not millions, but it's pretty damn good. So you say 9. And then you go through all the other pros like that, and you go through the cons on the same thing. So let's say you have to travel away from family, and family is an important outcome to you. So you've got your time away from family as a cost. It's going to affect, maybe it's your 4th outcome. And then you say the cost of that really is like -7 to me. I mean, that's a pretty big cost, not being able to see my family because I'm in Antarctica. And then what you now have is you have a visual representation of all the different options that you have You've got the pros, you've got the cons, you see the benefits and the outcomes that are affected, and it just gives you like a visual idea. Because so often we do everything in our head and it is so overwhelming because there's too many factors involved. Instead, go through a decision-making process like this. You get to the end and you say, right, what is my best option? You look at it and you say, okay, these are my best options, these are the costs. And then you say, how can I eliminate those costs as best as I can? So let's say one of the ones is family. Say, right, what I'm going to do is if I fly back every month and I have that included and I say I want them to pay for it, then that's not bad of a cost. So you start to see if you can mitigate, if you can start to remove some of those costs to make it an even better option. Once you go through this process, it is done. You don't look back, you don't move away, you just do it. Leaders make decisions quickly and change them slowly. People that are followers make decisions very, very slowly and they change them all the freaking time. So instead, I want you to be the leader of your own life. So whatever decision you are facing in your life, I want you to decide now if it is option 1, where you make a decision and you go for it, or option 2, where you say, right, I'm going to do my decision-making criteria and go through it. Now, one last thing. If there is a moment where you're feeling unsure and you've got 2 options and you don't know which one to do, this is what I want you to do. If you can, think about those options right now. And then I need you to grab a coin. Okay, so if you can pause the video, I promise you this is wicked. So quickly go grab a coin. What you're going to do is you're going to come back, you've got your coin, and you're going to flick it in the air. But before you do, heads is going to be one option, tails is going to be the other, and we're going to let the universe decide. Okay, that's fair. And what we're going to do is we'll make a deal here. I know you're watching this virtually, but for you, this is it. The universe will decide for you. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to name your option. Heads is this, heads is A, tails is B. Get ready, flick it up, and see what it lands on. Now this is what happens when people do that. So if you haven't already, please do that. See what it lands on. And what you have to notice is you will have a visceral reaction to what it is, if you genuinely believe that this is what's going to happen. So let's say it's quit my job or stay. You go like this. It says quit your job and you go, yeah. All right. Oh, it may not be that exaggerated. You'll be like, it's kind of like a head nod. Whereas if it's the other one, it's quit your job, you may just get this, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to stay. Whatever that option is for you. And you'll have this sort of gut reaction to that. So this is another way to make that decision process work for you. What I say is take these tools, actually apply it to your life. Say, right, what are some of the things that I need to make decisions on right now, get it done and dusted? Remember, we're not looking for perfection. We're just looking to make a decision and move on. Now, if you're thinking, oh, but Ben, it's all good and well you saying this, but what if I make the wrong decision? You'll never know. You just make the right decision and you move it forward. And I was listening to Gary Vee the other day, Gary Vaynerchuk, and he was saying how he missed out on investing 800 million, the equivalent of, I think it was like a small amount, but if he invested in Uber, it'd be worth 800 million now. And some people say, oh yeah, that's awful. You say, well, yeah, well, I could have done that, but then there are so many other factors involved that you never know what could have happened. He may have got the 800 million, gone on holiday, the plane crashed, or he's walking in China doing a talk, and then he gets hit by a bus. And there are so many different factors that sometimes we believe that things are binary, but they're not. It's not this or that. There's so many other variables that are involved. So I challenge you to make some decisions, stick to them, and be a leader in your own life. I'll see you next time.